Roman gladiators were history's first plant-based athletes. Yes, that is true. Roman gladiators at their time were top-tier athletes and fighters, and they lived primarily on eating plants. That's because they could not afford to feed them, nor did Romans want to feed them any kind of meat. That's just dumb. They were slaves, so they were fed primarily plants, yet they were still top-tier athletes of their time, and their diets have paved the way for modern athletes to excel and outperform other athletes on regular diets, so to say. There are many benefits to this type of diet. First of them being health benefits. And the first of these health benefits is weight loss. This is because plants contain less fat than animals. Any kind of animal meat. Beef, bison, chicken, whatever. There's less fat in plants than there are in other animal sources of protein. There are also healthier fats in those types of plants. Number one, quote, fat vegetable is avocados. They are filled with a healthy source of fat that your body needs to survive. The other reason that for weight loss when on a plant-based diet is that many vegetables are low on the glycemic scale, which means that they digest slower in your body, which keeps you more full for longer, so you then don't have to snack throughout the day. You have your simple 3 or 4 meals, depending on if you're trying to gain weight or not. Healthy weight, of course. The second of these benefits is a healthy heart. That comes from lower blood pressure, through lower cholesterol, and you also have reduced hypertension when eating a plant-based diet, which means reduced heart attacks, which is always a good plus. Not having heart attacks. The third benefit is reduced cholesterol, like I just mentioned. Reduced cholesterol comes from reduced levels of LDL cholesterol or bad cholesterol. People on a plant-based diet, meaning that they eat primarily plants with some animal sources of protein mixed in, have seen their LDL cholesterol reduced by anywhere from 10 to 15%. People on a strictly vegan diet, which means no animal products at all, just plants, that is it. No breads, milks, cheese, or whatever, no dairy, have seen it reduce in their LDL cholesterol by up to 25%. An example of a day of eating this type of diet, which I feel like is important to tell people, because a lot of people confuse a plant-based diet with a vegan or vegetarian diet, where in reality, when you look at your plate, a typical plate is normally half meats with some kind of carb with some kind of vegetable. A plant-based diet is going to be almost entirely vegetables with a little bit of meat, if any, and a little bit of some kind of carbohydrate or bread, if any. Example of a good breakfast would be a green smoothie. I did not skip my things. Green smoothies can contain things like spinach, kale, green apples, whatever. Just your typical green fruits with some kind of liquid base of maybe orange juice or almond milk. But for many, this is not appealing, and this seems really disgusting. So most people will not drink this. So another good alternative to this is some kind of oatmeal with granola, blueberries, strawberries, maybe with some side of like egg whites. Good source of protein without the fatty yolk, that animal fat yolk in there. Good typical lunch is some kind of salad. You can use romaine lettuce. You can use spinach for your base. Good toppings on that could be little amounts of chicken bites, strawberries, oranges, with some avocado, or if you had spinach, you could add different types of vegetables, mushrooms, carrots, whatever, maybe some kale if you wanted to mix that in there too, or some kind of light salad dressing. Lastly, for a typical dinner, a great source, this is a little bit more on the expensive side and harder to cook, is stir-fried vegetables with some kind of grilled salmon on the side. This is really good because it's a great way to fill your plate with lots of vegetables while cooking them at the same time with, if you want to do chicken or salmon in there too. Add some of that, typical flavor that most people eat. People that eat fish and chicken regularly can still kind of taste that as they're eating their whole meal, which is it's a great way to help transition from a normal diet to a plant-based diet. And then another option for dinner could be a type of salad containing, you could do a Mexican style salad. That's what I would choose to kind of break away from a lunch type of salad, where you could have spinach and romaine lettuce mixed in with some chicken, salsa, black beans, pico de gallo, stuff like that, where it's all still, small amounts of that protein, but you're still getting that primarily plant, based meal, which is key on this diet. Simply put, this diet has nothing but benefits. There are no downsides to this diet, and it provides many health benefits, as I just stated. It's very simple and easy to put together, minus stir-fried vegetables, of course. That's a little more complicated. And it's also relatively cheap. Bags of lettuce or just pre-made salad packs that you can buy in the store are all relatively cheap options, and they can stay well in the refrigerator for a week. You can go one day every Sunday and just buy stuff for the week to eat, and it'll keep you in good shape physically and mentally. And if you're trying to put on muscle mass, gain healthy weight, you can still do that with a plant-based diet, as long as you just continue to eat and eat and eat and put up those calorie numbers. You will be 100% A-okay. And to conclude, there really is no reason to not at least try this diet for around 4 weeks, because you will not see any benefits from this diet, health and mentally wise, from doing it for a week. You need your time for your body to adjust and cycle out, what it used to eat, and then cycle in the new nutrients that you're putting into it. Thank you.